So I guess we will start very soon now.
Yes.
Are there more people joining?
Yeah, I think there might be more people joining, but I feel like we can start already because it's past 8. 6 past 8 already, so welcome everyone.
Yeah.
Pinhan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Amanda. And thanks everyone for joining to our Zoom talk. And very, very welcome. Actually, we had very good response this time. We had more than 110 people register for the talk. And I'm sure that more people will come in later, or they may not join tonight, but they will listen back to our recordings. So you're really overwhelmed with such a good response. So thank you all again who can join us online in a live streaming talk. And so yeah, we have like 3 people. Amanda and I will be your hosts, and Claire will be our guest speaker. And that's a wonderful experience. A wonderful opportunity for me and Amanda to be able to learn from Claire. Actually, we met each other at Kaduri Farm, joined Claire's Energy of Nature workshop for 5 days, from the level 1, level 2, level 3. So it has been many years since we know Claire. And we also both learn a lot and from Claire's teaching, and also benefit a lot from the teaching as well as from nature. And that's why we think that especially this special time that, with the COVID or with the society, which may have a lot of uncertainties, that would be a good time for us to explore more. How can we take good care of ourselves through nature? And so, yeah, how about let's start from to see if Amanda would be able to share a little bit. What's your personal experience? Like how does nature support you over the years, and how does nature take care of your body and mind?
Sure, Pinhan. So as you can see on the screen, the theme of today's talk is self-care in nature. And as you'll find out, there is a training that we're also doing on the same theme. And this is something that is very close to my heart, because my personal experience is that nature is the great healer. It's the best healer, and the healing is holistic, on many different levels. Physically, I feel recharged in nature every time I go. I think a lot of people have this, same experience. Especially those of us living in Hong Kong. It's very easy to go hiking, to go into the countryside, and every time we go, I think intuitively, naturally, we feel more relaxed, more energized. So physically, it's rejuvenating. So I definitely have a lot of experience of that when I was younger, when I was working as a lawyer in a very stressful law firm environment. I go hiking every weekend. And that's when I feel normal again after very stressful days. And then in 2014, I actually was diagnosed with cancer and had to go through some very invasive treatment. So my body was very weak. So I couldn't even go hiking. But then I managed to find a way still to reach out and reach into the healing power of nature. So I find that actually, the healing can come through in a very different way. So I didn't have to actually exercise or do a lot of physical activity. There is a very gentle way of receiving from nature too. I think that the quality that and I'm sure Claire will go on to talk a lot more about the quality of nature, but I feel like the quality that we can experience and taste from nature is very different from our human world. And it's a kind of energy, a kind of healing that's very unconditional. So for me, as a cancer patient back then, I really felt unconditional support from nature. It's very hard to use words to describe, but it's a feeling that I was totally and fully accepted as I am. You know, I was going through chemo, I was bald, my body was like, I didn't feel like myself at all. But every time I go into nature, I feel like no one is judging me. You know, no one is looking at me in a weird way, and I'm just accepted as I am. So I was very touched. And it was after that I actually got to know that Claire offer trainings and courses in Hong Kong at the Kaduri farm, and I signed up, you know, without hesitation because of my first-hand experience, and I really had this strong desire to know more, you know, how nature actually supports us, and it's also because of, you know, what I've learned from Claire that I got interested, and accidentally I also found out about something called forest therapy, which is actually my work now. So, and that's kind of another story, but that's my personal experience. So it's very personal, of course, and I really hope that no one needs to go through cancer to understand the healing power of nature. But that was what I had, you know, what I went through, what I kind of had to go through in order to realize how close we are to nature, that we are part of nature, and that that realization is a big part of the healing. It took away a lot of my mental stress, physical fatigue, and I felt more wholesome, you know, overall. And Pinhan, I know you have some fantastic experience in nature too. Can you share a little bit with us?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, I think when I was at the college, like studying in Taiwan, I'm from Taiwan originally. And so yeah, so when I was just a student, college student, my first like really impact experience with nature was I went to like Lalashan in Taiwan, where you have 2,000, 3,000 year old ancient trees. And then I was in a really like, you know, upset and not so good emotions, or feeling a little bit down. And just as Amanda said, intuitively, and I wanted to go to the mountain to see those ancient trees. So I ride my scooters and for like 2 or 3 hours and I got up to the mountain high up, like 2,000 meters high, higher than that. And I sat next to an ancient tree, like 2,800 year old. I didn't say anything or didn't do anything. Just by sitting next to tree, I felt comfort. I had tears naturally, you know, came down. I feel like I was sitting next to an old friend. And at that time, all my, you know, like unhappiness and or sadness were just naturally released. And that is my first like very early experience of how nature can heal us. And later on, I met Claire at the Kaduri farm in 2011, almost 10 years now. And then I learned, oh, actually nature has different qualities, and also nature, there are many tools, what Claire told us, and also many great teachers shares. Nature has a lot of tools, can help us to be more grounded and to help us to, you know, like address our stress or anxiety, or even fear. Like we all have fear, different fears in our mind or in our heart. And how can we use nature as a great tool to release our anxiety, to help us relax, but also get to know ourselves more? So nature actually is a great way to connect with ourselves. I really like what Eckhart Tolle has a quote. Maybe I can just read it out for you, and that is a quote I really enjoy, appreciate. So he said, "Look at a tree, a flower, a plant. Let your awareness rest upon it. How still they are, how deeply rooted in being. allow nature to teach you stillness. I think what he said was really profound, and that's also what I have experienced. Every time when I go into nature, I can feel immediately calmness. Immediately, my mind was quieting down, and I have more space in myself, and that encouraged me, or like bring more awareness about myself. So yeah, that's one of my personal experience I really appreciate. And I also love to do meditation. So if every time I have a chance, I will do meditation outdoor in nature. Yeah. So yeah, I think throughout the years, and by practicing by practicing different self-care skills in nature, it really helps me to be more grounded and open my heart. And so this really help us to be connect with people as well. And because we understand ourselves more, and we are more grounded, and we have better self to serve more people. And as Amanda says, that's why both of us are starting our own projects and wanted to bring, more people to know nature, or get in touch with nature in different way, to open up our different perspectives, to broaden our horizontal, and to connect with nature through our experience, through our heart. Yes. So I guess I shouldn't say too much, because Claire will have a lot of different ideas, different sharings, and her teachings. Some of her basic teaching will also share with you.
Yes, but it's always nice to hear from your experiences.
Yes. Thank you, Claire. So may I pass
that's why now it's your turn, Claire.
Oh, no, I was talking about you. Yes. So
Claire, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, so feel free to share yours. Yeah.
Thank you. So my sharing. I want one more experience from you, Pinhan, in the bus.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
sure.
in the bus? That's a very, very nice experience. Yeah.
Did you say again?
When you were in the bus, very tired, this experience is powerful in my opinion.
Sure. Claire knew all my experience with nature.
No.
Regularly report to her. Yes, because I was changing job 5 years ago, and I had the experience. I had to do a very long commute. So every day I have to commute from Tai Po Lam Chun to Central, and that was a big change for me. Like, every day I have to commute 3 hours, and I was from a very rural area, and with nature, go to the center of the city, and that's such a big change. So I was really drained physically and mentally with all the environment, in Central. Everyone was very busy, rushing. The energy was like really draining me. So I was using Claire's teaching, like grounding myself. So sometimes when I went on MTR, and I will be doing grounding exercise, and you don't have to be in nature. Once you know all the skills, or when you practice more, you can do the practice anywhere, anytime. So I was doing that on the MTR, waiting for the train to come in to ground myself. And I was doing like visualize of the trees. I was connect with my tree friends, and to bring the kind of calmness and to connect with the trees. So it kind of helped me to transcend, to go through that period, the difficult period of time. Yes, and in Central, I also look for many different tree friends. Like in Tai Kwun, I don't know, have you been there? There are beautiful trees. In St. John and St. John's Cathedral, they have beautiful tree and environment. So we can find nature wherever we are. Yes. So I guess, is that okay, Claire?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like this experience. So I'm going to show a PowerPoint. Self-care in nature, and that's the title. You see all well? Do you see the PowerPoint well? Yeah,
yep,
okay.
No problem.
Yeah. So self-care in nature. Yeah, but I would like to start with a quote different from Pinan's one. A quote from Andy Goldsworthy. I mean, he's a British artist, a nature artist, and he's doing some of his art is permanent. That means he's building things with stones and wood, etc. And part of his art is also impermanent. That means that it gets destroyed when the current of water is bringing down or bringing away the leaves or the flowers that he has set up in a artful form. So, but what he says is summarizing for me the importance of the connection with nature. So he says, we often forget that we are nature. Yes, we are part of the animal kingdom, don't forget. So we often forget that we are nature. Nature is not something separate from us. So when we say that we have lost our connection to nature, we've lost our connection to ourselves. And that's, for me, it's essential, you know. We connect with nature and we bring nature's power, nature healing powers, nature qualities, you know, to us, inside of us. And it helps us to connect in a deeper way, in a better way with ourselves, within, yes. So, talking about nature's healing, I believe Amanda and Pinhan have already talked about that. But what could we say about it? Some more. That's, as Amanda said, I mean, nature can heal body, mind, and spirit. I mean, nature, as Amanda said, is coming in a holistic way, is affecting us in a holistic way. Of course, the medicinal plants, and there are many plants with medicinal properties that can help heal our body. And here you see a sparrow that is taking away medicinal plants. Animals know what to eat, what is good for them. And the most basic and most well-known thing is cats, you know, cats that eat grass to clean their intestine. Well, I observe, I mean, I was very, very surprised when I saw a tit, a small bird in France last spring, who was very intent in taking some leaves of my rosemary in the garden. And it was taking the full leaf, so it was quite big in the beak, and then bringing back to its nest. Then it would come back, and it came to take at least 10 leaves of rosemary. And we know that rosemary is a very powerful antibiotic, natural antibiotic. And also, you know, it has some oils that are bringing some scent. So it would put those leaves inside the nest to be sure that no parasites would come and that it would give some fragrance to the nest area. So that's very nice. Animals know about it. And of course, we have a long history of healers that use herbs and other mushrooms and other material from nature. There's a thing that my mother always told me, and that I was fascinated by this. She said, when you have a poison in nature, you always have the counter poison nearby. So for example, I mean, in Europe, we have nettles that are, you know, stinging. And we have straight away, if we look around the nettles, we will have a shrub that has which leaves can we brush them, and they can remove the sting of the nettles, or some part of herbs, that are also good in the same way. So nature is perfect. Nature is perfect in the sense that poison counter poison. That's there's balance. There are ways to deal with everything in nature, or mostly. Yeah. So nature can give us a sense of well-being, yes, as Amanda's shared, and in this way connects us to positive emotions and feelings, and among them peacefulness, harmony. When when I was doing my PhD, I was roaming in many of forests in Malaysia, and I was always feeling this sense of harmony, this balance in the ecosystem. And when we are in an undisturbed ecosystem, there's balance, there's harmony, in the sense that everything is working together. Yeah. Happiness, we can be very happy. I always mention, this experience that I had when I was in my garden. Suddenly, I just, realized, oh, I'm happy. And yes, happiness to be in the garden, to be in nature, to be touching the soil, to be with the plants, gardening, etc. That's really nice. And joy of being is so important. So important. The joy of being is basically that we are happy to be on earth. We are happy to be living. And that's something that's very essential. It is something that is deep within all of us, whether we know it or not, whether we connect it or not, it's inside of us, deep inside of us. And nobody can take it. We are the only one who can act on it. We can connect with it. Yes, joy of being. I'm happy to be living on earth. Compassion, and yes, of course, compassion and empathy, the qualities of the heart, opening the heart. And something also that I find wonderful is the sense of wonder. Being curious about everything and marveling at whatever nature offers us, whatever we see in nature. The shapes of leaves, the colors, the smells, the vision. For me, a bird is perfect. It's such a beautiful, light, and free living being. There are so many things that we can marvel at, that we can develop our sense of wonder with. And when we develop our sense of wonder in nature, then we have a sense of wonder for everything in our daily life. Yes, that's so wonderful. That's so amazing. Yes, that's so amazing to be looking at things we do, things we it brings a smile, it brings happiness. Yeah. And of course, we can also have a sense of oneness when we are in nature, being one element among other elements, being part of something, being one with everything. Yes. So these are the qualities, and there are so many more. Of course, we can talk about it for hours, but we have only 1 hour, so I'm now going to, I'm joking. Yes. So what can happen in nature is that we connect with those qualities, and this helps us to connect with our own qualities within. I see compassion in nature. Well, how is my compassion? How do I feel? I see this joy of being, this lightness, that birds are manifesting, are showing. How is my joy of being? I'm happy. Am I happy? We can refer, we can bring those qualities inside of us. And sorry, once we bring these qualities inside of us, we strengthen them. Yes, I'm referring to when I said, I noticed that I was happy gardening. And then, oh, I'm happy to be happy. Yes, I strengthened my sense of happiness that day. And this is a very powerful experience that I had, because whenever I feel a bit down, I can call back this sense of happiness. And that's the power. That's what I call the power of remembrance. When we remember those beautiful and happy moments in nature, those beautiful experiences, they are inside of us, they are part of our past, and then we can bring them into the present. And, that's can support and help us to be going through whatever is happening that is difficult or fearful or anxious, etc., bringing anxiety. So, after talking about, yes, the healing powers of nature, there is much more that we are going to address in this workshop, in this wonderful workshop that is set up by Pinhan and Amanda. And these topics are, of course, nature healing. Nature, how is nature providing support into our self-care and healing? And then, of course, the grounding. Grounding is such an important quality that is helping us. That's the basis, I would say, basis in our life. And grounding includes connection with the soil, anchoring, having roots and very strong, bases that bring stability as well, and the calm and stillness that goes with the grounding. If we are stable, we are calm, and we can reach into the stillness that is deep within us. And of course, a sense of security. When we are stable, we are secure, right? Like a tree in a storm. The tree is balancing. We can see the branches and the upper trunk that is moving, but the basis is stable, well anchored. Yeah. We have also another quality that is part of grounding, is being in the present, being in the here and now. That's very important. This year and now is bringing the fact that we are not in the past, whatever we have done or said or heard or thought, the anxiety maybe coming from some experiences in the past. We are not in the future, whatever we will do or say, or whatever some other people will do, etc., whatever we will face. And the anxiety that we can have, the apprehension that we can have, of something that can happen in the future. We are here and now. So we are in the present moment, and the present moment makes that there's no fear. There's no fear, there's no anxiety. Why? Because we are not referring to the past, and we are not referring to the future. We are here. And the present moment is something very powerful, because it brings that 100% of us, body, mind, and spirit, is here with whatever is happening, with whatever we say, with whatever we do. Another topic that we'll experience is connecting with trees. Trees are very magnificent and special living beings, and no judgment, without judgment. They accept us as we are, and they have a very strong energy, so it's easy to connect with them. and we can have wonderful experiences with them, very rich and profound experiences. So we'll talk about the trees and some of their characteristics, their personalities, etc. And we will have some experiences about the connection with trees. And this, of course, helps us to go within and to connect in a deeper way with ourselves. There's another part that will be looked at in a small way, I would say. I mean, it would take more time to go through it, to explore the elements of nature and the qualities, but we will look at them. We will look at them here. So those elements are earth. You can see here some soil, and the earth, the water. Here you have water. The fire, the vitality, the vitality of all life that is present in living beings, their energy. Air, here we see some clouds, but we have also the connection with the heart and creativity. I mean, all what the thoughts, whatever is light, and ether, or some other people call it the spirit energy. That is present in everyone, everything, in all living beings, everywhere. And that's the consciousness, the universal consciousness. So we'll talk also about centering. We'll talk and experience centering. And centering means going inside our spiritual heart and connecting with the beautiful qualities of the spiritual heart, the happiness, the compassion, the empathy, love, all these beautiful qualities that we can connect with and be able to connect, in a very pure way, in a very deep way with the universal consciousness. Centering. Connection with the spiritual heart. And when we are grounded and centered, we connect with this energy and we connect with the energy of the soil and the cosmos. And that's what healers do. When they do, they are connecting. They are being centered, grounded and centered. The last topic that we'll talk about will be the opening of the heart with nature. So many things to explore with that. The heart that can be more open, always more open. We have our whole life to open our heart. And then there are some exercises, some practices and some qualities that we can connect with in nature to help us to open more our heart. In India, they say, in the beginning, there's love. In the end, there's love when we die. So in the beginning, when we are born, there's love. In the end, when we die, there's love. And in between, we have to practice love. Yes. So, yes, nature can help us to deepen our heart's quality. So now I propose you to do an exercise, that is connected with the grounding. And so connecting with the grounding. So if you want to do this exercise, I'm asking you to stand up. And we will, in a very simple way, we will practice our connection with the ground. Those who want, if it is warm enough, here it's quite cold, but if it is warm enough, you can be barefoot if you want to. And so I'm asking you to be aware of the connection of your feet with the ground. So you press your heels and you are aware of the contact of your heels with the ground. You press your soul, and you're aware of every part of your souls in contact with the ground. You press your toes one after the other, aware of disconnection. You can even be on tiptoe if you want to. You come back and you're aware of the whole connection of your feet with the ground, heel, sole, and toes. Now you send your awareness to your ankles and you move your feet one after the other to feel the rotation and the mobility of the ankle. Take your time. You can make some rounds of each foot, to the right, to the left, one after the other. Enjoy this connection. Enjoy feeling how mobile are your ankles. And you can even, play with your knee, with the mobility of your knee. Move, lift up one leg after the other, moving with this experiences the mobility. Take your time to feel it. And now you stand on your 2 feet and you also connect with the stability of your knees, holding your body, connecting you with the upper parts of the body and getting you stable. So now I will ask you to walk a bit, but to walk very slowly. And I would like you to walk in a way that you put the heel first, then the sole, then the toes in a very conscious way, in a very slow way, so that you can, be sure, have your full awareness on every part of your feet, connecting with the ground. So you walk very slowly, one foot after another, the heel, the sole, the toes, then the other foot, the heel, the sole, the toes. Make small steps because you are going very slowly, so you keep your stability. The heel, the sole, the toes. And enjoy this connection, in the way, when I say enjoy this connection, feel like a child, learning to walk. You are walking for the first time, or you are just experiencing this way of walking for the first time. Our body is a marvelous tool for the mind and for the soul, for the spirit. So many things are happening in the body. And the feet are our connection with Mother Earth, with the soil. And it's a wonder. 2 small feet are just holding a whole body in connecting with the soil. That's wonderful. Continue walking in a very slow way, enjoying this connection with the soil. Enjoying the mobility of the feet and the stability. what happens? Are you noticing something different in your mind? You know, you are connecting with the ground, you are aware of this connection. What is the impact on your mind? Now you can slowly come back to your place. Nice, very nice. So maybe now we can have either some sharings or some questions.
Yes. Thank you so much, Claire.
Removing the PowerPoint.
Share screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming to it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Claire, for the brief PowerPoint and the short exercise. And I'm sure maybe some people have some questions. I know someone already typed down the question in the chat box. So welcome you. If you have any questions, please type your questions in our chat box. And just maybe I would like to add a little bit, because some people may know Amanda and I and Claire, we are having a self-care in nature course, like 27 hours course. So Claire was mentioning a lot of different elements, what we will address in this course. So so later we will have maybe Amanda, would you be able to show a little bit of the course, so we can also share with you what the course would look like. Yeah, so it would be in combinations between in-person sessions as well as online sessions. So the in-person sessions will be led by me and Amanda, and the online course will be led by Claire from France. And so this is self-care in nature course. We especially actually designed this course for example, helping professions, maybe teachers, social workers, and also people who work in body, mind, spirit, or well-being, or like in NGOs or charity organizations. Because we notice, you know, in these 2 years, or actually a lot of the time, helping professions or people working, you know, like charities and NGOs, a lot of time people were burned out because they have their target clients or members. They help them, they trying to provide good service, whatever they need. But a lot of time, the social workers or teachers, they were lacking of time to really take care of themselves. And what we have experienced was nature has a lot of, you know, like healing energy, healing power, a lot of compassion and acceptance. And then those skills that Claire will share with us are really helpful and useful to help us to recharge, to help us to connect to ourselves, and to help us to be more relaxed, and to be able to serve better or even serve more people. But in a way, not burn ourselves, not drain ourselves. In a way, it's like reciprocal. But anytime we can go back to nature to charge whenever we want. So this 27 hours training is a foundation course, and we will combine just like what Claire was introduced, will be the healing power of nature's different exercise, in-person and online different exercise. We will also combine with mindfulness practice, as well as forest bath or forest therapy guide, where Amanda was studying and learn and leading. So we combine these three elements into one workshop in a holistic way. And so this will be the foundation, and later on we will have an advanced course. So it would be very opened up our five senses, opened up our heart, and connect with our intuition, our inner wisdom, and connect with nature. So this is well, just to give a little bit of background, what like Claire was giving some background what we will address in this course. So I already see some of the questions in the chat box. So let me have a look. So one question is, in what ways we can connect to nature at work? And so another question is, Amanda, do you mind? So also Mayhan, thank you, mention special experiences. And another Wincy mentioned, Amanda, do you mind to share the different feelings of your hiking before and after your illness? It seems the hikings you did after illness are the real healing ones. So what's the difference of such kind of healing hikes or what we call forest bathing? So maybe we answer the first question about in what ways we can connect nature at work. So is that Claire, would you like to share your thoughts first?
I will answer to the question of how can we connect with nature at work when we are at work. I would say there are different ways, and you can use one or the other, or you can, according to the situation. One could be that you have a small plant in a pot, and look at it regularly. Look at it, in a way that it's connecting you to something else, to a living being, another living being, but another living being that is not judgmental. Sometimes at work, we are dealing with people and there's the whole way of the past and everything that's, behind the relationship, that's in the relationship and behind it. And just connecting, I'm looking at the plant once in a while during my day, it makes that I'm connecting with something else, a living being, but a living being that is living in a different way. And another way is what we were talking about, the power of remembrance. Once in a while, or whenever you are facing a person who is angry or dissatisfied or not happy, whatever, and you have to deal with it. Remember a happy time that you had in nature, or like what Pinhans was sharing. Remember a tree that you are connected, you have a relationship with. Remember something that is uplifting. And uplifting in, of course, we can remember people that we love, but with people, it's always, the relationship is more complicated. With nature, the relationship is more simple in a way that there's acceptance. We are as we are, and that's fine. So just, it's pure, I would say. And just the power of remembrance, we can't, I think we can't measure the power of this power of remembrance. So you can, that's one of the tools that you can use.
Thank you, Claire. May I also add, I think for me also good thing is, apart from Claire mentioned, have a small plants next to your desk and things like that. The good thing is a lot of workplace has windows, or maybe we will be able to see the sky, or we look out the window, we can see maybe trees on the road, or even, the plants next door. So I think every time when we work in between works, remember to give us some break in between. I know like in Hong Kong, people work really hard, and even sometimes overtime working. But we have to remember ourselves. Maybe every hour, or we take some break, and at that time we look outside the windows and we consciously to look for nature elements or the sky, and that actually help us to have a really quick but relaxing break, or like take away our mind from work back to nature. So for me, that's a very good way to recharge. Yes. How about Amanda? Any tips?
Sorry, I
sorry,
may
Claire.
add something to what you said, Pinhan.
Yeah.
Is when you look outside the window or when you look at the plant, breathe. Take some 3 deep respirations, 3 deep breathing and breathe out. Connect with your body, connect with yourself. And you, in this way, you are imbibing, whatever you see, whatever you feel from this part of nature. Yeah, thank you.
I'll just add quickly onto, I think Pinhan, you mentioned taking breaks. I remember there's a very interesting research done in, I think, the US on a group of teenagers, and they were asked to leave their phones behind and then go out into nature, and then their moods, their level of happiness, maybe like their moods, like how they're feeling, right, is measured. And just after 10 minutes, all of them are happier. they were in better moods. So, and it was just 10 minutes. So sometimes when we're very, very, very busy, maybe we even forget to take like just a 10-minute break. But I think it's encouraging because it doesn't always take like an hour or even like a day or half a day in nature in order for us to benefit. Sometimes it can be very small, like micro breaks. So
totally.
Yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is also I remember, because I used to work in an office, like in a very busy law firm office, and if the office is an open plan, when there are no doors, like everyone sit in the same room, it can be very stressful and distracting. So one thing that I think a lot of people find helpful is to actually listen to sounds of nature. Maybe on a headphone, like those noise cancelling headphones, maybe play some sounds of flowing water or bird songs. So even though we're looking at a screen at work, but if we're listening to like really soothing nature music, it also helps us to stay calm and more at ease, more at peace. So yeah, just small tips. I hope that helps.
That's great. Yeah, thank you, Amanda and Claire. So should we move to the next question for Amanda especially?
Yeah, actually, I want to maybe answer the last question first. Stephanie asked the question, can she join the course as she's not in Hong Kong? And I'll go back to Wing-Shi's question afterwards, because I think that's an important question.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, so this course, Pinhan, you want to answer that?
Stephanie?
Sure.
Where are you? Where are you, Stephanie?
Where are you based, Stephanie? Wonder if she's still here.
Macau!
Oh, Macau!
Macau! Oh my
wow.
God!
I see. Yes. Thank you, Stephanie. For this, what we mentioned, the self-care in nature course, because it's combination between in-person experience as well as online experience. For this particular course, I think it would be best to do that in Hong Kong. But I think maybe in the future we can also invite Claire to do some, for example, short online sessions or courses to address different topics. For example, like grounding or opening the heart online. So in that way, we can also serve people who not live in Hong Kong, but would like to also, in their own environment, how can they connect with nature? So actually, Claire has done a lot of workshops in different countries, for example, in Taiwan and in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and in China. And especially these 2 years, Claire has done a lot of online workshops in Singapore for people in Singapore, right?
Yes, have to.
Yes. So actually, so I'm sure that we will have different opportunity for Stephanie and other people who maybe not live in Hong Kong at this moment, but can also learn from Claire and how to connect with nature in your own environment. Yes. So thank you so much for the questions. And so Amanda?
Yeah, I'll just quickly answer Wing Shi's question. So she's asking about the before and after my illness. How is it different? And, is it the ones that after healing that I did, after my illness experience that was healing? Actually, I think it's not so much about what I did. It's not so much about the action of, whether I'm hiking or just sitting or lying down. It's more about the internal, like what happens inside of me. It's a lot about my awareness. Am I really aware about what I'm doing? Am I, when I look at a tree, am I really seeing a tree, or am I thinking about something else? And it's a lot about perception, like how my body, my senses, my body experience the environment. And a lot of Claire's teaching is around perception too, like how do we perceive the energy of nature? How do we perceive ourselves being in nature? And that for me is what is healing. That's the internal experience. So if you look at someone in nature, they can be standing, sitting, walking, running, they can be doing many different things, but you don't know what's happening inside. And I think that's actually the important part. So I can still be running and hiking very aggressively, competitively. That's what I used to do, right? I do competitions on the hills, but if I do that in a way that is very mindful, that I'm very aware of how I am moving across space, like how I relate to all the other beings around me, then that can be very healing too. So what we learn in this course, and when we talk about connection with nature, relationship with nature, that's what's important, what happens inside. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. There are more
Very
questions.
Good answer.
Thank you. There are more questions. Katie is asking, may I know more details about the course? And then Puyin, very interesting topic. Would like to approach nature immediately. Thank you. Any books we can recommend? Right, for us, which is about forest bathing. Books. So I wonder, thank you for answering the question. Thank you. Yes. There are more questions. Will you get any certificate for the course? Okay, maybe we focus on the questions on the training, on this course first, I suggest. Will we get any certificates for the course? Are we getting any certificates, Sinan?
Yes, so for the self-care in nature, we will have a certificate of attendance. Yeah, so definitely everyone will have it if you participate fully for the course. I would like to share a little bit more because actually we start the first batch last weekend for the 2 days. I would like to share a little bit our participant feedback for the first 2 sessions. Some people mentioned it. They have more faith on their work, and also after these 2 days, she feel more relaxed and detox a lot. And the other participant mentioned it. After these 2 days, I feel very recharged. Cantonese like 好差點咯. And also she can feel that she gained a lot of strength to face the challenge in life. And also spiritually, she feel more nourishment from nature. And so last sharing about the feedback from the participant last weekend. So the environment was great and quiet and have enough space she can fully engage and connect with herself and the tree. She feels grounded, and she also has the opportunity to connect her inner self deeply. At the same time, she feels the supporting and the grounding of the tree and the earth, feel being taken good care and peaceful in mind. Yeah, so yeah, if you we already start the course in January, but if any of you would be interested, we will send further course dates and information to your emails. Because actually we original schedule in February and March we have another course, but due to the COVID situation, so we might need to adjust the course dates. But stay tuned. We'll definitely share more information, maybe in our Facebook and Instagram and website. Not website, Facebook and Instagram. We will send you an email as well. Yeah. Amanda, anything to add?
The only thing I want to add is that we very much look forward to actually running the course, depending on the situation with COVID, because our experience this past weekend already is very, very positive. And so we're praying that the situation improves so that this can actually take place in person. So there's in-person components and online components, and I think both are very important. So yeah, that's the thing that we need to stress. We have this session today. Originally, when we planned for it, we wanted to roll out the registration for the February course already, but the changes happened very quickly with the restrictions. So we don't have the dates yet. So the course is not open for registration yet, but we will definitely keep you informed of the latest updates. So hope to see some of you in the course when we roll it out for registration. So maybe what I can do is share the screen again so that you can actually see the QR codes for me and Pinhan. So you can feel free to use these, maybe scan your phone on the QR code so you will see us on, I think this is our website, right, Pinhan?
Yes, it's our website.
Yeah,
so Amanda's project is
Shirin-yoku Hong Kong.
And
Pinhan's is Nature Wellbeing.
And my project is called Nature Wellbeing. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, so let's always keep in touch. And then again, no matter that where you are, or no matter how busy your life is, always remember to give yourself some break and space and to go out to nature. And stay tuned, and then Amanda and I will share more information, maybe definitely the self-care in nature course, as well as maybe some online course with specific topic with Claire. So thank you so much. Thank you, Claire, and thank you, Amanda, for hosting this talk. And thank you all for joining us in this evening. And have a good restful evening and the weekend ahead.
Thank you very much. I just want to quickly say, I don't know if Puyin is still here. She asked about books. So maybe we can just quickly in our follow-up email, maybe we can share a few books with everyone. Is that okay, Claire? If you have any suggestions on good books to read. Yeah. Okay. Great. So we'll be in touch in email and share some resources with you, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Sleep well. Thank you, Claire. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Pinhan and Amanda.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Mayhan. Bye-bye, Sally.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What's your name?
So sad.